We both come from a strong jazz background, and therefore enabled us to take simple grooves and expound on a theme.
Yeah, that's right. So, a lot of things started from just taking like standard things, popular songs from the time, and then changing them, making them our own, and breaking the rhythm up and doing different things. Maybe we could demonstrate a little bit about that.
So now we'll attempt to demonstrate what we may have done to embellish upon a simple rhythm like that.
Well, that's not just about that's some of the stuff like we've been doing before. It's like it's really important on being able to trust each other, and when you have, so that you can actually express yourself like that. You know, I know you got a lot of feelings about that too, Mike.
Well, I'm really a spontaneous drummer. I just play by feel. I'm not really a studio quote-unquote drummer. So I have to know the guy I'm playing with really well and know that he trusts me well enough for me to do what it is that I do.
Yeah, I mean, because we have gotten such a good relationship, we can break things up, and we don't worry about bar lines. We don't worry about where one is. The basic thing is that like it's a continuous groove. And so that you can, I mean, if you had to count it or you had to write it out, I mean, it'd be extremely hard to do what we actually normally do. Because we never think about this. We never think about it. It comes from actually, you have to work to do this. You have to work, if you have a drummer or a bass player that you like playing with, you have to work with them. You have to spend some time with just him and learn something. You can come up with your own type of style. You know, let's try something free-for-all and just break it up. We don't have no idea what we're going to do, but we'll try something just to demonstrate what we're talking about. Just trust.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay, now, after that, I think the best thing to go is we're going to talk about time feeling. And there's many different types of ways of creating a different feeling in the music, from either the drummer playing behind or not only just together with you. In musicians' terms, they call this how big your pocket is. I mean, this is how wide of a groove. You can make a groove very narrow feeling and very tight feeling by playing exactly right on the time and everything else. You can make it feel wide and have a lot more feeling by the way that the drums and bass relationship balance each other from the different ways that he would play time. So Mike is now going to demonstrate a drummer playing actually almost right, very straight and together with the bass line. We're going to be doing the same rhythm over and over, but should be able to hear the differences in the sound. This first one will be us playing together, very tight and straight. Yeah, that's what the drum's playing, pretty tight and right on it. Now you can play the same tempo. We'll play the same groove, and this is with Mike playing putting a lot more feeling, adding a lot more feeling to the rhythm by playing his backbeat a little bit behind the actual downbeat. It makes it feel. He doesn't slow down, but it's just the way that it makes it feel wider on the groove. Here it goes.
1, 2, 3.
Now when a drummer does this, you can also add a lot more tension to this by the bass player playing a little bit more on top of the beat, so it sounds almost like he's pulling the drummer.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, now we'd like to give a mix. This is like a combination of not only playing straight ahead and real tight together, but also being able to lay back some part of the beats in a syncopated type rhythm. This is more or less actually what we really do together. We'll be breaking this up. This is a combination of both, though. If you listen carefully, you'll hear some of the beats drop way in the back, and but at the same time, the time is actually really has the feeling of moving forward.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's different types of grooves and how to make them feel. So far as the way that the relationship of the drummer and the bass together on how they play. Well, Mike, How about explaining that?
And what I did was I picked key pivot points out of Paul's bass line and anchored that down with my bass drum, and then I tried to find what they call ghost notes.
Oh, the don't, right? That's what.
Yeah,
the
don't.
Yeah.
So all the things that weren't don't, I refer to as ghost notes. So what I did was use a four-way drum style.
What's a four-way drum style?
Well, a four-way drum style is rather than an independent drum style where, say, the left hand is playing one rhythm and the right hand is playing another. This is where each limb plays a separate note apart from the other one.
That's like both their arms and both feet. You're doing a completely four-way thing.
Yeah, exactly. And what I tried to do was find the important bass notes and anchor those down with my bass drum, and then find creative ghost patterns. They call it ghosting, to move around inside that bass line to create an interesting effect.
Hey, can you? Is there any way that you can maybe demonstrate like an exercise or something for the four-way independent type rhythm? How long did it take you to develop that?
I've been doing it since about 1970, but I just found out during that demonstration that it's easier for me to play faster than it is slower.
Yeah,
So,
well, why don't you do it fast once?
Throughout the years, a lot of people have asked me about the Tower of Power. And it was a really great part of my life musically, because I really learned an incredible amount of things there. Basically, what I know today, I learned in the Tower of Power on stage, because it was an opportunity where I had the opportunity, or the chance to experiment and really try a lot of things in a really great situation. So all the things that I was hearing, I really tried to put to use. A lot of the grooves that I played with the band, I get asked about all the time. I haven't really played with the band at all since 1980 was the last time I was involved with them. So that's been, this is 1993, so 13 years ago. And it's flattering that people still want to hear those things and remember those things. Unfortunately, there'll probably never be a chance to hear me perform with the band. So again, I thought what would be a great thing is if I was to play some of those things for you, you could see how it looked when I played some of those grooves, and maybe a few that you hadn't heard before. Some of the more obscure ones, or a couple of them anyway, so that you have an idea of what at least they were about. The first one I'm going to play for you is from a song that was on the Back to Oakland record, which we recorded, I think, in 1973. 1973, right, in Seattle, Washington. That's when we did that. And this is called Man from the Past, a tune that was written by Lenny Williams, the singer. And I don't know how to get into this thing. I'll just try it and see what happens. It's a two-measure pattern that has kind of a strange turnaround at the end. And you'll figure it out here. I'll count it in, and then you'll see how it develops here. Here we go. I'll try to start it slow and then speed up the tempo a little bit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That groove was from the end of the song. So if you ever listen to that piece, it's the very, very end of the song where we're just riding out on a long groove. There's a horn vamp going on, that sort of thing. Another groove that everyone seems to ask about all the time, of course this is one that's been sampled a lot, is the opening to Squib Cakes. Now the way I'm going to play it, I don't think is quite like the record. I haven't played this in quite a long time. And also, when I did play it, it sort of changed a lot. As we played it so many times that the basic structure of it was the same, but how I played it changed quite a bit. So the groove that I played sort of went like this. And I'll play the 4-bar solo in the beginning, which is the one that sort of was a setup to the song. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. The next groove that I want to play is called On the Serious Side, from a song called On the Serious Side. And it was on a Tower Power album called In the Slot that we recorded in 1975. And it goes like this. I go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. The next groove I'd like to play is from a song entitled Soul Vaccination, which was on the album called Tower of Power. That was our second Warner Brothers record. I think we did that one in 1972. And so here's what that groove sounds like. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three.
when I joined P-Funk, or Parliament Funkadelic, you know, it was 20 guys, and it had to sound like 20 people on the bandstand.
This period of 9 years had a heavy influence on what you've done since then, in terms of the groove and the foundation and the pocket. Can you talk a little bit about how that developed and some of the George Clinton ideas?
Yeah, well, one thing I had to learn was like how to play in the pocket, and I didn't know what that meant because no one explained that to me, especially in that organization, until later. You know, I finally broke down and was like, man, what are you guys talking about? You know, like, what is pocket? You know, and what it meant was, okay, well, the time is here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can either play right on those beats, which George didn't want. He wanted to lay back a little bit, you know, like behind it a little bit, and that's what he meant, you know, with, you know, putting it in the pocket. You know, a lot of people think, you know, when they hear those triplets on the bass drum, they immediately think that I got that from John Bonham. You know, it's because probably that's where they first heard it from. But for me, the first cat I ever heard do that was Tiki Fulwood, you know, with Funkadelic. And the second time I heard it was with John Bonham. And John Bonham made it famous, so to speak, because everybody was into, you know, rock music and, you know, that kind of thing. Another time I heard that triplet configuration was done by a guy named Diamond, and he was the drummer who played with the Ohio Players, which he demonstrated some things like this. course, the tempo was a little faster, or the tune was a little faster than that. But
Right.
he made a landmark with that, you know. And then I came along and did it. Gary, he's a very percussive bass player. You know, when he played with his thumbs, there were some times on the tour, I remember, I didn't know who was playing drums. Was it me or him? Because, you know, he had this Music Man bass that had a big range of frequencies. You know, he had covered the low end great and it covered the high end. He had a very snapping high end, and he had a serious low end, you know. And when he had the right rig, it sounded like a drummer was playing. Which was great, you know. So therefore, that's how I learned, you know, that's how we learned how to play off each other the way we did. Because, you know, he was playing all this percussion stuff and I'm playing the drums and, you know, I'm playing all this weird stuff off of him.
first song we're going to do, I'm going to play a groove from a song called Mellow Ship, Slinky in B major. And this is basically has a funk swing shuffle feel to it. And check out, I'm going to play it slow first, and check out the hi-hat. And I do a lot of grace notes with my left hand, and I also play the hi-hat with the right, and then on the 2 and 4 with the snare. So, here goes slow. 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm going to play along with the track, and you can check it out up to speed in its full entirety and beautiful beautiness.
But I'll tell you one thing, though,
I wish you would.
that those kids out there should always remember.
What should they remember?
That there's nothing worse for any musician that if you go to play with a drummer and all they can do is play fast and flashy and loud and they can't play slow.
Good point, Flea.
Isn't that terrible? Someone who
Yes.
just can't kick back and lay it down in the pocket.
Something like this? gink, the gink, dink, the gink, dink, gink, the gink, dink, gink, dink, gink, the gink, dink, gink, the gink, dink, 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 dink.
Yeah, that did it.